We start down the long, dark path in front of us. The air down here carries a thick stench of death. Somewhere further down this passageway, Lynx's subterranean hideout awaits. Kid's got a strange look on her face. I can't imagine what must be going through her head right now. Majel, on the other hand, I can never read him. But still, we usually talk a little, lightening things up. But right now, nobody's making a sound. I try to offer some conversation, hoping to avoid the increasing tension. So, what really is this frozen flame thing? No response. Just as I start to think no one is going to answer, Majel starts to speak, his low voice echoing throughout the stone corridor. It was said to be a gem which soothes all scars, granting eternal life to its owner. Or so people believed. The frozen flame is more than just an object. It's not of this world. It descended from the heavens long ago, part of a huge meteorite. Once, there lived a people who sought to harness its power, hoping to tap into their yet unknown potential, and so it became a treasure of great importance and dreams. However, whether a gift which bestows power is actually a blessing or a curse is another question altogether. Since the birth of humanity, at least one entire race has fallen because of it. These people once built a great thriving metropolis with its power, but now all knowledge of this era has been completely lost within the sands of time. A faint feeling of distress comes over Majel's voice throughout his speech. But then, how do you know about all this? I ask. Again, no answer. Keeping silent, I continue walking. Our footsteps once again become the only sound filling this dark path. In case you could not figure it out, I'm going to talk Chrono Trigger here, because this is a side story to Chrono Trigger, so feel free to talk about Chrono Trigger. This is clearly the meteorite that Lavos came in. It's a piece of that, and Majel, well, he knows all about it. I assume he's talking about the reptites when he says one race has died. He could be talking about, when he was a kid, but maybe I'm reading too much into it. All right, let's keep going now that we know what the frozen flame is. Well, whether any of that's true or not, it all leads us to the same place. Say your prayers, Lynx. We're coming for you. That's all I know, and that's plenty. The frozen flame. What in the world could Lynx see in that mysterious rock? Flooded with thoughts, I pause for a moment to take a deep breath and calm myself. Continuing on a moment later, I feel as though I'm a bit more at peace. Suddenly, Majel comes to a stop. Do not move. Huh? Kid and I look around suspiciously. Around us, bones are scattered in all directions. Many of them have been cut cleanly in half. Looking around more, amidst the dim light, I start to see that the walls have been splattered with blood. Then, suddenly, a trace of light catches my eye from behind. There's a bolt of electricity approaching us, sparkling like a lit fuse on the ground. Coming within a few feet of us, the spark splits off into two, forming a circle around us. Once the circle is complete, an odd glow starts to shine at our feet. Then, from where the sparks had traced, light shoots upward, forming a wall of light all around us. This is important. Let me make sure I remember it properly. It's a devil circle. We try to move, but we find ourselves caught within the rays of light. With the scalding, noisy winds whirling all around us, all I see are rays of shimmering light in every direction I look. What do? I can't see anything in all this light. Majel grabs me by the shoulder and returns me to the center of the circle. Thankfully, he seems to be able to see just fine. His mask is probably shielding his eyes from the radiance. There is always a way out of a devil circle. We must find the gaps to walk through. If you say so. Suddenly, Kid's elbow grazes one of the walls. Sparks scatter in all directions. She instantly snaps her arm back, wincing in pain. Unable to see any gaps whatsoever, I hesitantly start to make my way towards the blinding wall of light. Take 3 steps to the right, 2 steps to the right, 3 steps to the left, 2 steps to the left. Try to forcefully go through. It's 3 steps to the right first. Come on, to the right a little. There, come on now. From where we stand, a small gap in the wall can be seen all of a sudden. Holding my breath, I leap into it with my arms shielding my face. All right, we made it through. Do you remember? We got told this by the gryphon rat thing. However, I open my eyes only to see even more of these glimmering walls swirling before us. Unable to see any gaps whatsoever, I hesitantly start to make my way towards the blinding wall of light. 2 steps to the left, 3 steps to the left, 2 steps to the right, 3 steps to the right. Forcefully going through. Is it always going to be the top one? 2 steps to the left. We've got to go to the left a little. There. Come on now. From where we stand, a small gap in the wall can be seen all of a sudden. Holding my breath, I leap into it with my arm shielding my face. Again. All right, we made it through. However, I open my eyes only to see even more of these glimmering walls swirling before us. Unable to see any gaps whatsoever, I hesitantly start to make my way towards the blinding wall of light. 2 steps to the left, 3 steps to the left, 2 steps to the right, 3 steps to the right. Don't do the last one. It's 2 steps to the right. To the right, slowly. There. Come on now. From where we stand, a small gap in the wall can be seen all of a sudden. Holding my breath, I leap into it with my arm shielding my face. Again. I scurry away from the blood-curdling thing as fast as I can. Looking back, I see it vanish in a puff of smoke just as quickly as it arrived. The wind instantly dies down as well, and all the dust and grime that was blowing around falls back to the floor in a flash. Everything has returned to a quiet stillness. Too quiet. And so, heading down the hallway further and further, eventually. At last! Kid steps toward the mighty set of doors, letting out a sigh of relief. Beyond this door, the frozen flame. From behind his mask, Magel's eyes let loose a cool radiance. Okay, let's go, Kid says eagerly, grasping the handle. Whoa. This cavern sprawls out to great length before our eyes, a forgotten world hidden deep below ground. And, with a scarlet radiance, a single small gem shimmers in the darkness. The frozen flame. Finally, we're here. The jewel shimmers warmly, almost as if it's responding to Kid's voice. Taking a few steps into the moist cavern, Magel whispers, "Remarkable, intact ruins of the lost magical kingdom." Oh, so he wasn't talking about the reptiles. He was talking about the magic kingdom. Okay. Just as I start to ask Magel what he means, a taunting laugh can be heard from high above us. Lynx. Kid immediately pulls out her knife and hurls it through the air with all her might. As it approaches Lynx, he easily swats it out of the way, almost too quickly for me to see. Always the same. Such a savage little girl. Can't you give a gentleman an honest greeting? You bastard, Kid interrupts. And what have we here? The notorious Shadow Walker. I wouldn't be trying anything like last time if I were you. Beside me, I see Magel come to a stop. Lord Lynx, Viper Manor's deadly owner. The very same man who murdered Kid's sister, deceived Riddell's father, and eradicated the Acacia Dragoons. Welcome back, Kid. I see you have successfully taken the bait, gluttonous as ever. What? Kid says hesitantly, taking a step back. Lynx stares down at her with those frighteningly piercing eyes of his. You see, Kid, I brought you here because of the rock you carry. Which rock? Surely you remember, the one you received from your sister all those years ago. The priceless keepsake you carry with you dearly, even now. The Chrono Trigger. The chrono trigger.
How'd you know about that?
Kid's gaze returns to a scowl.
No matter, we're here for the frozen flame. You're finished, you bastard.
Ah, yes. Toss your little threats around. But remember, no matter how many times you think you have won, I have generously demonstrated how gravely you are mistaken. And with that, Lynx unsheathes a beautiful golden saber. Previously, I've overlooked doing away with you, letting you scurry on with your pathetic little life. However, this time, I may not be so generous. Kid takes another step back, glaring at Lynx as he approaches.
Lynx, you murderer! I'll never forgive you for Luca! This ends here and now!
And so Kid leaps into the air in a fit of rage, aiming a kick between Lynx's eyes. However, just as she reaches him, he swiftly dodges. Kid stands there, wondering how she could have missed. Beside her, Lynx laughs, taunting her. Jumping up once again, Kid lets loose a fierce kick. Skimming the tip of his nose, her kick cuts through nothing but air. In a parry attack, Lynx sends his razor-sharp golden saber through the air. The Kid's already leapt back. The two face each other only a few feet apart. If only you had been a bit faster, Kid, Lynx says, smiling. All of a sudden, a line of red streaks across Kid's face. Kid? Wiping off the blood, Kid angrily rushes Lynx in a flash through the air. Effortlessly dodging, Lynx drives the sword into her back as soon as she lands. Kid bends back in alarming pain. Somehow staying on her feet, she stumbles back and readies herself to charge again. Stupid little brat. Lynx lands an elbow onto Kid's shoulder, knocking her clear down to the ground. I feel her pain from the pit of my stomach as I start to see blood trickling from her lips. What's wrong, little girl? Once again, Kid tries to lash out at Lynx, but he easily kicks her, sending her back into a pile of rubble. Lynx then looks upward, focusing his concentration on the ceiling. As I look up, I see a number of rocks have come dislodged from the cavern, tumbling down onto her. Kid! I call out as I start to rush over to her. However, just as soon as I start to, I see Magel's already there. He streaked across the shadows, putting himself between Lynx and Kid. Saying nothing, Lynx shoots a thread of white light out of his fingertips. The thread-like substance entangles Magel, binding his feet together. He hits the ground with a thud. In a dazzling radiance, a countless number of threads fly out from Lynx's fingertips. They immobilize Magel completely, leaving only his head visible. How does that feel, Shadow Walker? Have you felt my web start to drain your life energy yet? Lynx says, smiling ominously. Kid, Magel, what am I going to do? Stand up to Lynx, try to free Magel, help Kid. It does not really matter. Let's try to help Kid. Kid! She looks over towards me with blood trickling from her mouth. She only moves a little. Kid, are you all right? She lies there motionless, wincing painfully. Surge. It's okay, Kid. I'm here for you. How kind. However, I think you should be more concerned with your own well-being, young man. An icy chill runs down my spine as I hear the evil voice behind me. Oh, that was how kind. However, I think you should be more concerned with your own well-being, young man. An icy chill runs down my spine as I hear the evil voice behind me. I stand up and turn around. So you, whoever you are, opposing me is quite useless, as you obviously have seen. And in a flash, Lynx grabs me by the neck. He strangles me with his long, disgusting fingers. Then he starts to lift me up by my neck. Struggling for air, I painfully hang there, unable to tear myself free of his powerful grip. Look, Kid. Look at your pathetic little companion suffering. You can make this all stop if you want. With blood dripping from her lips, Kid opens one of her eyes. Painfully gasping and coughing, she lifts her head up to us. She still wants to get up, but she's hurt far too badly. Surge. Hand over the chrono trigger, Kid. Little do you know, but that rock is actually a tiny condensed universe. When combined with the frozen flame, it gains the power to bend space-time, allowing its owner to reshape history. This all could have never happened if you merely wish it. Saying this, Lynx looks towards me, expressionless. And what about you, young man? Perhaps you know where the chrono trigger is? He asks, tightening his grip. Surge. What are you going to do, kid? Can you afford to let this little boy die without helping? How will it feel to have his blood on your hands? As Lynx grasps tighter and tighter, I find myself starting to lose it. Lynx's face becomes a blur. Suddenly, Kid's voice snaps me back to attention. I'm sorry, Serge. What should I do? No. Don't give it to him. Don't do it. My consciousness fading. Stop! The stone! Here! Yeah, it happens either way. Lynx looks over to Kid. His eyes light up as his hands loosen around my neck. Abandoning me, Lynx rushes over to her side. Here it is, Lynx! Kid reaches into her pocket. Lynx draws closer. Despite being drained of nearly all strength, Kid manages to whip her knife out, fiercely slashing at Lynx. Screaming viciously, Lynx falls back, cradling his mangled face. Blood starts to trickle down from between his fingers. You. Lynx staggers to his feet, keeping his right hand on the wound. I will have such fun killing you all. With as much power as she can muster, Kid kicks at Lynx, sweeping him off his feet. Ha! Spitting blood, Kid coughs a little, but still a smile manages to come through her agony. Kid. I run over towards her, still feeling the burning grip on my neck. Lynx turns to Kid, staring at her with his cold, evil gaze. Child, you shall beg for death soon enough. Every flower of pain shall be yours. Every flavor of pain shall be yours. What the hell's flower? Prepare to join Luca. Hearing this, Kid's eyes slowly open and catch sight of Lynx. A red-hot gaze burns in her eyes. Slowly, she rises to her feet. A shimmering light suddenly spurts out of the frozen flame. At the same time, a golden light bursts out of Kid's chest. Swirling around her, the light rises up, spreading outward in a glistening spiral. What is this? Lynx gasps.